chess friends, how are you? Anish Giri is a Dutch chess grandmaster known for his solid and strategic playing style. He is the CEO of chess.com and he is the world's top 10 rated player. He's an exceptional player, and today, I played with Anish where I sacrificed my knight in the opening of the game. Can he defeat me? Let's see. I started the game with e4, we have c5 and there is an amazing opening trap starts with b4. Let me show you the opening. C takes b4, bishop b2, knight to c6, d4, gaining center in the opening. So black played d5 takes then play c4. Best move for black is to move back the queen, but if he dare to capture the pawn with en passant, then after knight c3 queen takes pawn knight d5 will create destructive tactic in the queen side. If black plays queen takes bishop, then knight c7 will be a simple checkmate, and here, if black captures the queen, rook takes d1 to get this file. e6 doesn't work because after knight c7 king e7 bishop b3 will lose the bishop and the game, so bishop e7 knight c7 fork king. Here knight takes rook, white gains a rook and he is winning the game. Do one thing every day that scares you. So back to the position, I played knight f3 to sacrifice the knight as soon as possible. d6 knight g5 knight goes to c6 and I captured the pawn on f7. It's more likely to a Stockfish versus Wesley so game where I sacrificed my knight like this. King takes f7, I have some basic advantages like, the light square diagonal is spacious for my bishop, I can play f4 to use the half-open file in the future, c3 d4 can be played if desired. Or I can choose knight c3 d5 to control the king side. d3 is another good move to consider. Let's see who will bring victory. Bishop to b5, knight f6 to target the pawn. But I ignored it and played castle, because if you dare to capture the pawn, queen h5 check will arrive. You have to play g6, queen d5 check and you will lose the knight on e4. Humans have 85 non-neuronal billion cells in their brain, but their brain RAM is only 100 kilobytes in chess. Back to the position, Anish played bishop to g4. f3 to stabilize the structure, bishop run away, d3 to consider f4 and knight c3, a6 takes, f4 and Anish replied with g6. He want to develop his king position as soon as possible, so after knight d2 rook g8 knight f3 black played h6, very important move to protect that square from any incoming attacks. Bishop d2 e6, black tries to defend his position by placing his pawns on 6th rank, which is why I played knight h5 check. If you capture it then after takes, the knight will be under attack, so black might play queen d4, the best move. Rook f2 and the pawn is very annoying, right? If you capture it then bishop c3 will arrive to add pressure to the diagonal. Queen runs bishop takes f6, I can add pressure with queen f1. Black's king is in a precarious position and the game could tilt in favor of white if not played correctly. So back to the position, Anish played king g7, best move for me is to capture the bishop, but I decided to keep more pieces in the board. t5 captured knight e5 bishop d6 queen e6, capturing the knight isn't the best move. Let me show you the variation. Takes to target this knight runs queen f7 check, the main problem will arrive on king side. King backs bishop takes h6, I have the pass pawns and rook e1 is coming, queen e8 d4 rook e1 g5 rook to e5 to target the pawn and threatening g4 to trap the knight, so rook f6 to target it. Bishop takes g5 and g4 is a threat. So if you move back the knight then rook f6 will be a deadly move, targeting the rook, so black has to capture the rook. Takes to checkmate black, takes rook h5 is coming, so destroy black. King h7 bishop e7 to promote the pawn, and after some moves I will get rook and bishop against your two idiot pieces. Game will be completely in my hands, so chess friends, if you want to play like Stockfish and defeat any grandmaster then you can like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Back to the position. Anish played queen c8 to play d4 and rook e8, so after couple of moves later I played queen f2 to consider c3 and g4, preparing my pawns to attack in the king side. Bishop e7 queen h4, here if you play any normal kind of move, let's say b5, then f3 will come, you may capture the pawn, thinking what is the problem? Fool, here is the problem, the king will be exposed and queen g7 mate in a threat. Bishop takes rook takes, mate in 1 is a threat, so after queen d7, we will sacrifice the rook on f5, takes check king h8 bishop g5 to give a sweet kiss on king's cheek, so rook f8 rook to e7, queen h7 is coming, so you have sacrificed the queen and the game will be completely in my hand. Don't settle for what life gives you, make life better and build something. So back to the position, we have knight g8 to protect it, queen g3, bishop f5, queen f3 to target this. Anish should capture the knight, but he played mistake move queen c7. After all, he is just a human. I won a free pawn and I pushed my g-pawn, bishop e6 g5, captured and the knight is under attack. You shouldn't move the knight as it facilitates a well-prepared attack on the king side. This allows for an open file with bishops diagonal and the knight establishes a valuable outpost to control key squares, so Anish captured the knight, g takes f6, and where should the king go? If you think of playing king g8, then we will sacrifice the rook on e5, takes f5 check, bishop takes, queen takes check, king h8 and bishop c3. The queen is pinned to the king and black will lose the game completely, so back to the position. If you think what about king h8? Then f7 will come, rook here, rook takes f5, capturing the rook will lead into the same tactic, your queen will be pinned, so bishop takes f7, queen f6 check, king ups bishop c3 to consider rook check, to checkmate black in g7, so bishop e6 queen h4 check, king backs and we will sacrifice the queen on h8, takes check here and checkmate, game will be over, so back to the position, we have king f8, I sacrificed the rook on e5, takes f7, here you shouldn't save the rook because bishop h6 check will be dead lost, so Anish played bishop f5, pawn promotes rook captured, queen here, and after some sequences of moves, I captured the pawn on f5, queen here, bishop here, and we did queen exchange in the g4 square, h6, and best move for black is to play bishop f5, but Anish is an inferior human, he blundered the game and played rook e2. This is complete blunder because of rook f8 check. The king can't go there because of this, and here Anish Giri resigned the game. Let's see how the game will be end. So wish you all the best, thanks for watching, subscribe for more, bye bye, take care, see you soon.